right, everybody, what's good? Welcome back to this beautiful channel. This is none other than Hood Films. And at this channel, we do a lot of stuff. We make movies, we produce, we make music, we talk to the people, and we talk about different subject matters that's happening around the world that we find interesting and intriguing. And that's what we do. Sound good. My audio is working, so I'm happy about that. So today's episode is going to be another breakdown of the great P. Diddy, the guy who we all know and love and have watched grow into a major celebrity in all these times. And right now he's on trial, uh, for a RICO case, which is racketeering, incorporated, whatever they call that crap. It's basically to take down a mob, racketeering influence. That's what it's called. Uh, anyway, that's what they on, and that's what they doing to him. And but he's a one man show, so it's not like he's really doing this big stuff as far as what they claiming. However, they don't care. They got him locked up. I gotta grab my socks right there. So we watching Diddy basically go down when he really didn't want to. You know what I'm saying? Who want to get popped off by them people and then sent up by your ex? Let me make sure that's mine. His ex girl, which is Cassie, who seemed to be on his heels. She, to me, I found out listening to the case so much shit that is like not even real that she should even be getting on his heels about and being able to bring him to court. To me, it looked like an ex-girlfriend who has a little power somehow, or either her skin color or something like that, making the government come after Diddy. Because now, after weeks and weeks of this trial, days and days, since this is the second week, we see that a lot of the stuff she's claiming it's not really so much him doing some RICO, but just basically a bunch of folks that just don't like him. And if you had a job, wherever you work, it's the boss over there where you work at, and you're probably not gonna like them for whatever your reason. Right? It's a million reasons. Maybe they stink, maybe they evil, maybe they late at work, or maybe you just don't really like their vibe. You know, you're not gonna like your boss all the time. That's a part of being an adult, not really caring about the boss and how, you know what I'm saying, that operation kicks. But when you get Diddy and you super famous and super rich, you kind of expect people to show a little respect. You know what I'm saying? He did at least take care of them. He did at least give them money. You know, had them in a situation where they could take care of themselves and their family. But, you know, people be angry and evil and they not hustlers. They're not going to do it for themselves. So they're going to come right up under him and get everything they can out of P. Diddy just to turn around and shit on him. So I'm going to go over here to Inner City Press, which is like a company out there that's doing a lot of information on the actual case. And I see what he got going on today. He's been uploading everything that's been coming through. You know, a lot of stuff that's been coming through for Diddy, you know, in his Diddy scenario. So I'm really trying to see how much information are they going to give. Don't look like they're giving a whole bunch of information on it. But at least the first part is. Oh, I see. It logged me out. That's what happened. Okay. Okay, it logged me out. Well, I probably have to stop sharing so I can log back in real quick. I don't even remember the damn login for this shit. I don't fucking remember the login for this shit. Damn. I ended up resetting my computer. Let me see if it's just the basic one, because sometimes it just be a basic one. It's not. So I gotta go back and log into this bitch, because I guess I locked myself out, but it's easy to do because I'm a motherfucking man. Yeah, so you gotta tell me in the comment section what you think, man. Why is P. Diddy going through all this shit? Why are they on his heels like this? You know what I'm saying? Should this be happening to him? You know what I'm saying? Why would he put himself in such a precarious situation where these people's on his back like that? Because it seemed like he was smart enough to maneuver through the game for all these decades just to turn around and go sit his ass down. And it don't make no sense. So let me click back on the share and then pop over here. My ear's still getting right up in the flight. So far, we got. Let me make sure y'all can see me. I always got to double check shit. There y'all go. Y'all can see it clear. Inner City Press, close these little shit. What that I don't need. Diddy trial. Diddy trial. That's just all over the fucking internet. All right, where's the article at? Inner City Press. Okay. Okay. Sean Combs, day 7, from personal assistant through exotic dancer to Cassie's mother and chef. Inner City Press is covering all the trial. All right, so we're gonna have these people on there today. Combs, Agnifilio. Agnifilio is Sean Combs' lawyer. You know how to get to Mel's Diner, right? David James. I guess that's the witness. I frequent there all the time. Agnifilio, you've never seen guns, right? Before, right? David James. No. And I think this must be his assistant. P.Diddy's assistant. Agnifilio, this is a radical departure from your job description. Is that an understatement? David James, it's an understatement of the day so far. Agnifilio, do you have immunity? David James, ask my lawyer. I have some kind of offer agreement. Agnifilio, proffer. David James, there was another person who sort of scurried away and the shower was on. I thought Mr. Combs was there. So basically, they going up against this guy, trying to see what you're saying. AUSA, I think that's attorney, assistant U.S. attorney. How was she sleeping, David James, on her back? Combs, Agnifilio. This is another lawyer. Sean Combs' lawyer. Objections. Judge, sustained. AUSA Slavic. What about the other person, David James? He was about 5'8" with long hair and a large endowment. He scurried away. AUSA, did you ask anything? David James, I wasn't hired to ask about their personal affairs. So I guess he must be seeing them having some kind of quote unquote freak off happening in front of this person's face. And he's trying to play the role like he was supposed to get involved. You know what I'm saying? AUSA Slavic, did you ever pick up drugs from Mr. Combs? David James, yes. Percocets at the pharmacy, sometimes in my name. AUSA, did you give him permission to use your name? David James, I don't recall that. Was there a drug dealer? David James, yes, one stop. This guy's letting it all hang out too. So they wanted somebody to tell on Diddy, and they saying this guy is the one telling. They saying this guy turned on Diddy. He switched it up on Diddy. First, he wasn't going to probably go against Diddy in that scenario, but now he's testified against Diddy. So it's crazy. And then you can see how evil motherfuckers is. They be down with you one time, and then see you really could be fucking sitting at the top. It's not always the best thing because now he's sitting at the top, and these motherfuckers are on his heels, treating his ass like the super killer cramp freak he supposedly be. But they benefited from his success. They benefited from his money. They benefited from his connections. So it's like you just don't know who to trust, but you better not be trusting these motherfuckers who don't work hard, who don't have as much to lose, who didn't put no work in the grinds that you in. Don't even fuck with them. They're not worth it because they're gonna use their hate on you, and you probably don't even deserve all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Or they probably don't deserve what they're getting because, in my opinion, girl got paid. She getting paid money. She got paid millions of dollars, and she's still trying to take this guy down. Now, I don't care about the fact that it's Diddy or who he is. He's still a person. And if this is my ex-girl, the hell are you doing? Take the money, get your new life going, and get the fuck on. And they even found out all the shit she done did to try to keep the relationship going. David and baby, David herself, CC, covered the parties with other girls there that she knew was his other girlfriends. She just really want to be a victim in every motherfucking scenario regarding this guy. And she's a goofy bitch for that. You know what I'm saying? He a lame nigga too because he should have never been fucking with her. You know what I'm saying? She's not worth it. You're supposed to be with a black woman because that's who your mother is. But you choose to be who you want to be with. But this is the end result when you be on goof. Okay. USA Slavic, he met with a lot of people. David James, yes. Even former presidents. Which was David, former President Obama. What's your understanding of what have happened if you had done these things? Agnifilio. Objection. Sustained. Because he can't say what P. Diddy would have did if something didn't happen. He ain't P. Diddy. Can't be in his brain. It's just a speculation. AUSA Savage. Did you ever take ecstasy? David James, yes. He trying to be silly too. Yes, I was drinking Ciroc. I took ecstasy. I was Diddy bopping. So now he's trying to make some statement that he think is going to stick into the lexicon. This is what you call a goofy. When you hear him talking like that, because he think this statement is going to stick. Diddy bopping. That's a Diddy bopping with some shit Diddy used to say, or people said without even having nothing to do with Diddy. AUSA, what do you mean? David James, I was vibing. Okay, why would you use ignorant ass slang like that in front of a room with white people and you know that this is about somebody's life? So you want to sit here and say you was Diddy bopping? What the fuck do that even mean? And then nigga, you too old to be talking about some motherfucking Diddy bopping. What, this nigga's a goofy. I gotta see how this whole ass nigga look now. This is Diddy, because that's so funny about it. He talking shit about Diddy, but in order to find out who this nigga is, you gotta put his motherfucking face on the goddamn internet. They don't even really have his face up there. That's crazy. That is crazy. This motherfucker got his face on the internet like twice. Not fucking kidding me. I'm gonna have to show y'all this shit so you see I ain't bullshit. You put this nigga name in the internet and it pop up like this. This the motherfucking image search part where you can see he got the first image, which is like him on there doing his talk and testimony. Then you got one further down where he's standing on here and somebody commentating about him. But you don't see too many faces with his ass. The David James images. Every photo of the guy is like some kind of weird sketch. This must be day 2 of his testimony. This is the only picture that I see of the guy right here inside this article. Looking like a CBS article. So you can see how the guy look right here. He look like a white person. Could be Hispanic. But this is why he want to turn on Diddy. Now he was probably supposed to testify on Diddy's behalf. But now he switched it up. David James, former personal assistant, will take the witness stand on Tuesday, second day. James began his tearful testimony yesterday describing his hiring process when an executive bad boy entertainer told him this is Scone Kingdom and we're off to serve him in it. James and Cassie Ventura told him she couldn't leave Gone because he controlled her and her money. Now, that's the guy who must have asked her what was she still staying at a party for when Diddy had a party and he invited his other girlfriends. Now, another girl in her right mind that's not jealous, that's not tweaking, she's going to get the fuck up and leave. She's going to say, yo, I'm not the only girl at this party. I'm out. I'm not dealing with this. But this girl stayed. So to me, how is that Diddy's fault? Because you chose to stay around somebody and you wasn't really interested in it. How is that Diddy's fault? You know what I'm saying? That don't make no sense. We got to figure shit out like that. I got to read my chips. Hell, I'm talking to y'all. My ass getting hungry than a bitch. So I got to eat and talk. But yeah, that was what Diddy said. After James testified his government, the government is expected to call 3 witnesses to the stand today: Sheree Hayes, Regina Ventura, and Jordan Atkinson. Combs faces 5 criminal counts: 1 count of racketeering conspiracy, 2 counts of sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. Combs has vociferously denied the allegations against him. So he put himself in a fucked up situation, man. But you could see old boy coming to court to smoke Diddy. He don't give a fuck. He's showing up, putting guns down. And it's like he don't care. So Diddy, facing dude, who really is some dude who was working for him and shit. I don't see how that shit even tie in. David James, we had a photographer who filmed the party. He asked me, "Hey, Playboy, was that you dancing around that day?" I said, "Yes." He said, "I'm going to keep that video in case I ever need it." Meaning that I'd be embarrassed. AUSA Slavic. Did anything ever go missing? David James. They said a bracelet was missing. Uncle Paulie came to my hotel room and searched my belongings. Those are my girlfriends at the time. Could you have said no? Objection. Move on. ASA. Did you ever have to take the lie detector test? David James, yes. Who was pregnant? David James, just me and this gentleman. It was very intimidating. They put the monitors on my head and my chest and my hand. Could you refuse not to keep my job? David James, did this happen again? I'm not sure. I don't think I'm sharing this with you, Mods. And I want y'all to read this shit with me because it's right there on the screen. But this is like where you get all the breakdown from today. As you can see, 47 minutes ago, 43 minutes ago. They breaking down the case right now. Hey, you guys saw it. Did this happen again? Yes. McCollum said his watch happened stolen. What was the result? The gentleman told me I was seeing nervous. I said, sure I am. David James, once Capricorn Clark had to take back when she proved she wasn't part of the heist and Mr. Combs' jury. Well, Mr. Combs, say Slavic. Was there an incident at Mel's Diner in the Suge Knight? David James, yes. I drove the service to Alligator to get cheeseburgers there. David James, I saw someone hand Suge Knight a gun. D-Rock said, we got to get out of here. We drove back to the house. What did you find? That David James Cassie was crying. Mr. Combs got in the vehicle. I saw 3 guns on his lap. David James, I felt calm because we had been in a silver vehicle, now a black one. They wouldn't have seen us coming. What did you find in Mel's diamond? Should right? Have that, Mr. Combs said. Mr. Rome said, drive around the block. Now, USA Flight. What did you decide? Leave the company. You offered me other positions, but I wanted to leave. My life was at risk. No further questions. Combs acting affiliate. You didn't tell all this the first time. They told me to stop, not to say anything would incriminate me. Look at the notes from your interview. Rudy yourself didn't look at me. Everything's okay. How'd you recognize Suge Knight? Everything's I listen to hip hop. Were you drinking, smoking pot? No. Acting affiliate. Your mind was clear. Yes. David James. That's as clear as it could be. Working 20 hours a week at 4 a.m. Acting affiliate. D-Rock opens the door. Suge Knight is a few cars over. David James. Wide open, window open. David James. D-Rock said, I'm Biggie's boy. And Suge record. And then Suge Knight got him. Give him a dad. What's a dad? A handshake. Did you leave D-Rock at the diner? What are you smiling? Why are you smiling? David James, because that's a crazy question. Why would I? Did you leave D-Rock at the diner? That makes no sense. I'm not asking. I'm asking Jason. Things no, you saw Cassie, Mr. Combs. Yes, David James. Yes, Mr. Combs told me to drive. Agnew Filio. You don't know where Mr. Combs got the guns, do you? David Filio. I didn't know we had guns until then. Agnew Filio. Have you ever been in a situation like that? David James. No. Agnew Filio. You didn't say I don't want to drive to Suge Knights with guns. No. Agnew Filio. What exactly did you do before you got this job? That was the door-to-door salesman, then a personal assistant. Now we're going to have guns and come around somewhere. James, this was not ideal. Agnew Filio, you knew how to get back to Mel. How you knew how to get to Mel's down there, right? They were I frequent there all the time. Yeah, we never know. They were saying no, okay. This is a radical project for your job to get you. This is an understatement. Right, so now we're going all off into more of what's going down the pipeline. I'm going to go back up to the top and see what came in new. Hit that reset button and see what else popped in on the new for this case real quick. Just looking at it. Because these boys, Inner City Press, he got known because he really do be on it. He really do chase it and see who the fuck is what's coming down the pipeline on these motherfucking tweets. As of right now, the last tweet came in 2 minutes ago. It said, Combs, Agnew Filio. It was important that he prepared for these meetings. David James, yes. It's important to be on time. David James, we change meetings to fit schedules all the time. This is why he didn't want to show up at a certain time. So basically, this is boring ass shit. It's like the guy's just basically talking about his engagement, being around Diddy, and what the fuck it was like being his security guard and working with Diddy and shit like that. Again, this guy has a hostile flex, so he's gonna be trying to get Diddy locked up further. This guy's not on Diddy's side. He's trying to make sure Diddy has to go down, and that's just how his angle is. I don't know if he's making money from it or he just really had a bad experience, because a lot of this sound like the people that been around Diddy just really had bad experiences with him. And so it's almost like a bandwagon effect. Oh, you see the boss go down. It's like, well, let me go ahead and jump on this motherfucker back too, because I don't like what he did that one Thursday when I'm on the day off, or my auntie and was out of town. I need to come over there with them. This motherfucker wouldn't let me get off work. It's like that. It's a power law. And the government don't care, because again, they got 5 cases, 5 little silly little cases to solve. If they could solve these on him, that's it. It really don't matter what if he did this shit or not. If they could file these 5 cases on him, if they could file these 5 cases on him, they got these 5 cases lined up on him right here. This is what he's charged with, and they only need 2 to convict him. They only need 2. Coles faces 5 criminal counts. 5 criminal counts. This is what he faces. 1 count racketeering conspiracy. But that means he's working with other people. So it might be hard to do this one because nobody's saying they working with him. They don't want to be guilty of their participation. You could see that's the reason why this guy mentioned something that he was not trying to do when they wanted to go shoot Suge Knight. You could see that's why he would mention this as part of his testimony, because he's trying to say that it was a lot of times I was around Diddy and I didn't even want to do this shit, but it was my job. And obviously everybody got a fucking job. So what can you say if you're at work? You got to do what the fuck they're telling you to do. It don't matter what job you got. You know what I'm saying? So this guy don't want to seem like he was a part of Diddy shit. 2 counts of sex trafficking by force. That means that girl was being forced to do it, or those guys that they was hooking up was being forced to do it. That's going to be hard to choose too, because if they're adults and they showing up to a location on their own volition and they own 2 feet and they own legs and they drove or car or some other kind of transportation from another location on their own to a place, then there's no force. You know what I'm saying? Or if they got on a flight and they put their name and their ID in there, they wasn't like locked into a box or locked into a container, then there's no force. Let me get my coffee. All right, yeah. So I had to grab my Kenoff before I go Kinnick the Dene off. Anyway, yeah. So he basically set himself up in some bullshit. But those first 2 look like something he could beat. Now they're gonna play with him and say no, no, no. But it looked like them motherfuckers he could smoke them, because he did not 2 counts of trafficking and by force. How did he force that bro to do anything? How did he force any of them to do anything? People love being around rich people, love being around millionaires and kicking it. Let's see what this fraud or coercion. Let's see. I can't say he didn't beat that one, because they could come with fraud in a lot of ways. Like maybe they could say he frauded some contract, or maybe he say he frauded some deal he was involved in. That might be something that's out of my pay league. And 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. You see, so that might be the one that they get him on. And he just might get 2 counts of that because he had girls and the girl tricked on him. She went and got the actual guys who she was being intimate with and had them come to court. Diddy was kind of, okay, so say you doing something with your lady. You don't think this shit gonna go bad. You can't see it going bad. It's not nothing that you imagine gonna crash. You just with your girl, you're doing this little kinky shit, it's you and her. You don't think that this gonna go bad, and then it go bad. So now she got the ups on you. She basically can tell the world about your sexual fetishes, which is embarrassing, and it's going to be embarrassing for anybody in the world. If anybody in the world had to tell anybody in the world, whether it was your preacher, whether it was your goddamn people from school, your friends, your private, your new person you might date, your fetishes. It's not going to be something you run down fast. It's not going to be something you just speed through and say, yeah, well, that's what I like. And the person got to be like, okay, cool. Well, they're going to, as soon as you say it, the person going to be like, well, I'm wearing this shit through my head. So let me look at this motherfucker again. So you like that? I don't know if I like that. Or If you blessed, a person might be like, ooh, I like that shit too. And now y'all got a fucking friendship or a relationship that you can build on. But otherwise, a motherfucker might not even like your fetish. But imagine having to say that shit to the TV or to the news or to the fucking judge or to a jury, a prosecutor, the prosecution. Imagine having to discuss this with other niggas in jail. So imagine this. People looked at you with all this respect and love and admiration. And now they found out that you like to take men's blah, blah, blah and put it on your nipples. But you got to sit in prison with these niggas for the next 20 years. Maybe somebody in there respect you, but then down the line, somebody come in jail later like, man, I heard that shit they said about you. I heard what that girl was saying. Tory Lane's dealing with that right now. He got his point or opinion about what happened. The girl got the opinion about what happened. So now you got two opposing opinions that run through the world. Somebody gonna be on his side, somebody gonna be on her side. All that turned into turmoil for Tory because now you in a jail, in a cell, in a box, in a like little corner, and then you can get hurt, which he did. So he tried to stay out in amongst the people. You know, like, okay, I'm a motherfucking nigga like everybody else. I could be in here. I don't have to be locked away, segregation. But after getting stabbed 14 times, now you got to be in segregation because you motherfucker kill you. But segregation means being locked in your cell for 23 fucking hours a day. So that means close the door in here and I'm stuck in this room every fucking day. It's not no internet, no TV, no cell phone, no shit, no iPad. It's just the voice of another motherfucker in the cell over. And we got to kick it. We got to figure out how to play chess and shit with little fucking dots of balls that we fucking created in our little cell. That's our fun. That's the day. And you got to wait for this motherfucker to wake up in order to fucking have this kind of fun. So Diddy having that kind of name recognition and respect, and then name this being this famous with this many decades, and then a little young girl come out and say all this negative shit about you. Now you got to sit in prison with the killers. Now you got to sit in prison with the murderers. You got to sit right next to the people who will fucking chop your head off, and they know all of this shit about you, or they heard all this shit running through their head about this what you do. And you sit back like, I actually don't do that. It's just this silly ass bro who play with me, and it's like, man, well, I'm finna do some damage to your ass. You can't protect yourself. It's damaging information. Then they could even play with you like, oh, you got a sex crime. You can't be around us. No, I ain't saying you was with a kid. I'm just saying that it was a sex crime, period. So now people like, man, I can't see my wife. I can't see my daughter. And you did this to this crew, this person. Oh yeah, you can't be around us. So now your time in jail is even fucked up because a person could come at you and try to hurt you in that. So that's why a lot of parts of me believe that Diddy won't go to jail for this. I believe that. I believe he won't go to jail for this. They were not going to set him up where somebody that's like a broke person or trying to come up basically kind of person could say all of these ferocious counts and things about him, and then it'll affect his safety. I could see them saying it can affect his money, but I won't think that it'll affect his fake safety because some of the stuff she said is too ferocious for me. Like for a guy to even have those accusations about them, it's too far-fetched, especially somebody with that credential and credibility. You know, people was already thinking and having their own assumptions, but then when somebody confirm it, it's like, whoa, that is real. And there's nothing you can do about it because it probably is. And obviously we know it was real from what her account is. So I would see if Diddy's going to take the trial, which I probably would. Because if you don't take the trial now, you probably have to take it in the future. And what's that shit called? Appeal. So you might as well take the trial now, take it to trial, and be your ass on the stand and get your ass up on the stand and talk, and testify in your own behalf, and make sure you clear up some of the bullshit she's saying, and don't keep it a secret. Like the cat's out the bag anyway. They got your ass under the gun, and they're gonna try to question you on these things, but you just gotta go up there and hopefully speak the right words because not saying nothing is just too far-fetched. I just can't imagine nobody not saying nothing. And this guy not saying nothing, it seems like you're guilty by not saying nothing. So it seemed like something that you probably want to do is get up there and speak for your own self and make sure that the girl not just putting some damaging statements out there about you and then you go straight to prison. So it's like smoke, punch, kick. They done raided your crib, they arrested you. You get on stand, take all this negative shit about you, then they put your ass in prison. It's like a 4-piece special. You can't even get up out of there. It's like, damn. So you gotta hopefully he could bounce back from all this shit and fight because we wouldn't say a black man go down. She got the money. She sued the motherfucking what's that place that she got jumped at, the club, I mean the hotel. She sued their ass. They want to get her $10 million. So she gonna be rich behind this. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why take him all the way out if you're gonna still be rich after all this? So y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think. I'm gonna hit y'all up a little bit later on with some more information on this trend now. Peace.